Tuesday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The National Task Force Against COVID-19 is eyeing the conduct of multiple-day elections to prevent a massive super spreader event in 2022. But to do this, election laws need to be amended first, and lawmakers are still divided on the issue. JC Cosico with the report.
This is the usual sight during elections, voters flocking to polling precincts, with poll watchers and elections inspectors also on guard. Should this happen in the middle of a pandemic, it would be a super spreader event. To prevent this, the government's COVID-19 task force is now looking at the possibility of holding multi-day polls. How will this work exactly?
If we have 20 million electorates, it will conglomerate at the same time in same areas, same place. Malaking chances na magkakaroon ng contamination.
Yes.
So we are looking at the possibility that we will conduct the election multi-day, or maybe meron tayong tinatawag na phase, not a single-day election, so that we can prevent the possible conglomerations of thousands of people in the precincts.
Vaccine czar Carlito Galvez explains the Philippines isn't new in this concept.
Kasi ginagawa naman po natin yun mga tinatawag natin special elections. Maybe geographic ang gagawin po natin na for Luzon, ito yung natin for Visayas, for Mindanao. There are many options that how we could guarantee yung safety ng ating mga electorates.
Officials are now in talks with the Commission on Elections regarding this matter. But Galvez admits that Congress will still have to amend election laws for it to take effect. Under the 1987 Philippine Constitution, elections must be held on the second Monday of May, unless otherwise provided by law. For Senator Risa Ontiveros, having to change the law is not practical. She suggests having more clustered precincts to lessen the number of people in a voting area, as well as having longer voting hours or expanded absentee voting. Senator Kiko Pangilinan, on the other hand, says he is open with the proposal. That's as long as this move would ensure the safety of voters and encourage them to vote, and if the holding of multi-day polls will secure polling personnel. But Senator Ralph Recto advised Galvez to concentrate or focus for now in ensuring vaccine supply and effective vaccination rollout. But if vaccination goals are not met, will there be enough time to amend election laws?
We have plenty of time. We will collectively plan this with the COMELEC and also maybe with the Senate and Congress.
For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
Health authorities say there have been almost 1,800 Delta variant cases detected in the country as of August 27. To discuss this and other issues, we have Greg Gregorio joining us live from Mandaluyong. Good afternoon, Greg. Let's talk about the 2 Delta cases recorded in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region. Does this mean that all regions now have Delta variant cases?
Yes, Charles, according to Dr. Cynthia Saloma, Executive Director of the UP Philippine Genome Center, these 2 cases detected in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao were samples collected back in July. Unfortunately, Dr. Saloma said they do not have any information as to the current clinical condition of these 2 cases. But you are right, Charles, following the detection of these 2 cases in BARM, this means that all of the regions in the Philippines have already detected cases positive with this highly infectious variant of the SARS-CoV-2. Charles?
Tell us a bit more about the global increase in Delta cases and what does this mean for the Philippine setting?
According to Dr. Saloma, the number of sequence samples positive with this Delta variant has indeed increased since April. According to Saloma, most of the samples sequenced back in April to May are actually mostly positive with the Alpha variant. But since April, the number of cases positive with Delta have rapidly increased. In fact, most of the case sequence samples in Oceania are already positive with Delta cases. And in fact, the United States and the UK are already reporting about 99% of their sequence samples positive with Delta variant. Saloma even added that in South American region, about 65% of their sequence samples are already positive with Delta, contrary to what they are reporting previously, wherein most of their samples are gamma positive samples. Here in the Philippines, the World Health Organization has recently confirmed that the Delta variant is already the dominant variant of SARS-CoV-2 in the Philippines, and that we are already seeing a community transmission of this Delta variant across the country. Charles?
Right, much has been said about the Delta variant of COVID-19 here in the Philippines, Greg, but then do we have any updates on whether we have any new Lambda variant cases?
Charles, according to Dr. Saloma, following the detection of the first Lambda case back in July, the UP Philippine Genome Center has not detected any additional Lambda cases so far. We are also expecting the next release of the next batch of our whole genome sequencing to know whether or not there are additional Lambda cases in the country. Charles?
Right, Greg, unfortunately, the list does not stop there. Could you tell us more about this recently discovered new variant? What do we have to say about this?
Yes, Charles, the World Health Organization has recently classified this B.1.621 as mu variant and classified as variant of interest. According to Dr. Saloma, this has been recorded in 30 countries from the time it was first detected back in Colombia early this year. According to Saloma, it has been classified as VOI because it has been seen in community infections in Colombia. Here in the Philippines, Saloma said that we should not consider this as a concern as of the moment because we are not yet seeing any association of this mu variant to any of our local cases or local spikes here in the country. Charles?
Thanks for that, Greg. That was Greg Gregorio reporting live from Mandaluyong. As the Philippines continues to face vaccine supply issues, the government has decided to set aside vaccine donations from Myanmar. The question is whether this aid will be given in kind or through monetary means. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez gives us the front seat to the story.
The Philippines has committed to donating vaccines to Myanmar. At least, that's what Foreign Secretary Teddy Boy Locsin told lawmakers at the DFA budget hearing.
Among foreign donors, we alone spoke up to provide vaccines to Myanmar, which is under the triple scourge of dictatorship, repression, and the pandemic.
A military coup earlier this year plus the COVID crisis have crippled Myanmar's economy. Locsin also said the assistance was placed under certain conditions.
Vaccines will not be used to lure suspected critics of the junta. In short, vaccine followed by incarceration, jail after coming forward to be jailed.
DFA spokesperson Assistant Secretary Ed Menyes clarified in a text message to One News that the Philippines won't be directly donating vaccines to Myanmar. Instead, it will provide monetary aid through an ASEAN Humanitarian Assistance Mechanism or AHA. It is not clear at this point how much money was committed. The issue raised concerns as the Philippines itself has challenges with vaccine supply. The semiconductor industry, for example, says hundreds of thousands of workers in the provinces are still waiting for their jobs.
We'd like to see an acceleration of the vaccine delivery. As we know, NCR has been getting most of the vaccines, and for understandable reasons, right? But I think eventually, especially for Region 4A, where most of our companies are, we have something like, 300,000 workers in Region 4A.
The Philippines is a major exporter of electronic parts globally, but manufacturing operations have been hampered since last year because of the pandemic. I'm Pamela Vasquez and we are One News.
Kidney damage is painless and silent, and it's the latest ailment to be identified in a large number of COVID-19 survivors. What exactly is the impact of long COVID on a patient's kidney? VA St. Louis Healthcare System's Dr. Ziad Al-Ali discusses this on Bloomberg Quick Take.
This is really huge. It will really literally shape our lives for probably the next decade or more. We found that people who survive the acute episode of COVID after 30 days, some of them develop acute kidney injury. Some of them develop EGFR decline, which is sort of a marker of kidney function, meaning that kidney function is declining over time. Some of them develop end-stage kidney disease, not huge numbers, but an important number, meaning they need to be on dialysis or require kidney transplantation. What's really problematic about kidney disease is it's really silent. It doesn't really manifest in pain or any other symptoms. Over that baseline, there is a 23% increase in the risk of AKI. In people who are not hospitalized at baseline and did not have any kidney problems in the first 30 days. So these people literally thought, they have no problem, everything is good. 30 days went by, they recovered, they quote unquote recovered from COVID. But then over time, they're actually exhibiting increased risk, 23% increased risk of acute kidney injury. Within sort of the global context of thinking about COVID and all the ramifications of COVID, this is sort of an added concern that if this is really happening at a wider scale, and we think it is, it's just a matter of time before we see all of these people hitting the clinics, needing dialysis, needing kidney transplantation. People on dialysis don't do very well. Annual mortality in people on dialysis is 20%. The numbers may look small, but this is not a small number if you multiply it by the huge number of Americans and also globally who might be ending up with end-stage kidney disease or MAKE or AKI. So this will certainly add burden on the healthcare system.
Here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. Pharmaly executives and Michael Yang's associate are wanted in Taiwan for supposed financial crimes. Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte reveals that senators, including Win Gatchalian, have been convincing her to be her running mate for next year's polls. And Miss Universe Philippines reveals its final 30 candidates for this year's competition. Exciting news for the whole family as Signal brings you 11 more awesome channels with free viewing starting this September until October 15. More blockbuster movies on Tap Movies, Tap Action Flicks, and Tagalized Movie Channel. More entertaining and trendy shows on Lotus Macau and Tap TV. More heart-pounding sports action, Premier Sports and Varsity Channel, and more fun learning for your kids at home on Moonbug Kids and DreamWorks. For more details, visit Signal's website or Facebook page. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 1 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We're One News.